Hey, Scott from MyGrowthRings.com here.
And Seth from SethMarkwood.com.
Together along with you, the three of us, we're Markwood Men's Breakfast Club. Welcome back once again to Tobacco Advent 2021, day 15. And good morning, boy.
Good morning, Homer. How you doing?
I am well. How about yourself?
I'm also well.
Sweet.
So this morning we are smoking Cupcake, which when we received it a year ago was aged 1 year and was also sent the year before that.
What?
So this will be, we've had this at year 0, year 1, and year 3 now. Is that right?
What? No.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry.
No.
We had it at year 0 and year 2. Year 0 and year 2. This is from our friend Brian.
Yeah, you're confused.
I am confused. It was it. No.
He sent it?
Yeah, so we had it in year 0
for last Christmas.
Yes, but it said I sent it last year, so he sent it in 2019. He smoked it in 2019.
Yes,
he sent it again in 2020, where it had been aged 1 year. We didn't smoke it then, so now it has been aged 2 years. So we had it as year 0 and year 2.
Right. Okay.
So what's your question?
We smoked his Black Raz on day 5.
That's correct. So we've now hit the point. In Tobacco Advent, as we explained earlier on, we're not accepting tobaccos this year because we're pre-filming these, and so everybody who had sent at least one unique tobacco we've smoked, and so now we're into repeats. Again, thank you to everybody who sent these last year, and the fact that it's sustaining us this year is great.
So the question of the day is, what purchase of $100 or less has most positively impacted your life in the past year? So does that purchase have to have been made in the last year, or has the positive influence of that purchase been experienced in this last year?
I think it's got to be purchased in the last year because we have answered this question for many years now, I think, or some version of this question.
Okay.
Am I wrong on that? I feel like we've answered the question in one form or another. So it was most positively?
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure we've talked about AirPods.
Which don't really count if they're the genuine Apple, because those are over 100. And I would say that. I paid more than $100 for it, but they've been wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got one.
Okay.
This is a shopsmith woodworking related, that's actually now appeared on my Growth Rings channel on YouTube. Shopsmith back in the 1960s made a disc sander called a conical sander, and that has a slight taper to it. So it's not a flat disc, it's got a bit of an angle. And they discontinued it in the 60s because the whole company went out of business for a while. And then 20 years after the company came back into being, they brought a version of it back. And recently, and I used to use one when I worked at Shopsmith in the classroom, in the academy, but I never purchased one for myself. And I have since purchased one. I got it secondhand, and I got it on eBay, and I purchased with it a sharpening jig that is used for running the Shopsmith joiner or planer knives past this disc that will allow you to sharpen. So the interesting thing about a conical sanding disc, and I should have thought about this before, but I didn't think about it.
Well, you didn't know the question before.
Yeah, I know I didn't. So let's say this is a flat sanding disc.
That's a flat sanding disc.
Yeah, we're imagining.
Okay. Oh, you just said let's say. I did.
So if the table of my sanding table, right, is right here, the sanding disc, if it's rotating this direction, at this point the abrasives are heading down. Over on this side, the abrasives are heading up. So if you run something straight past that disc, you're exposing that something to a broad section of abrasive, but you also have these issues of it wanting to lift and move your stock, and you're getting a cross-grain scratch if it's actual wood. The way we used to do this is on the Shopsmith, you'd take your fence and cant the fence slightly. So imagine that it's closer at the front edge. Mm-hmm. You feed your stock in from the back. So you're only catching it where it's narrow here. You're catching it where the sander is moving straight downhill. It's safer, but it's also cross-grain scratches. And if you're sanding wood, one of the reasons why you might do this as opposed to your joiner, if you have a piece of crazy wood grain, the joiner might tear it out or chip it, the sander won't. Well, if it's that crazy, sanding across the grain might also be negative. What a conical sander does is this has got an angle to it, so it's beveled here 4 degrees all the way around, and you tilt your table 4 degrees to match it. So the effect of that is you're catching at the 12 o'clock line right here, straight down the middle. You're catching your stock, and the direction that the sandpaper is moving in the middle is with the wood grain. Only at 12 o'clock, okay? Ahead of that, it's lifting up. The other side, it's going down across the grain. So Shopsmith, when they brought this thing back, also created the sharpening jig that you run past this conical sander. And again, it's only grinding and sharpening by hitting the abrasive where it's going parallel to the blade. You know, I'd kind of forgotten how amazing that thing was. It's kind of magical. So I bought one. I showed it on my channel, the My Growth Rings channel, and actually I did a couple videos on it. I did one sharpening the blades, and I did another one using it with wood. And it just plain awesome. I really enjoy it. Now, if you had to buy all that new, it comes in over $100. But because I got it used, I got the disc, the sharpening stone, and a couple of the abrasive discs for under $100. And have been thrilled with it. Plus, the comments that I've received on it, probably the most delightful comments, are people who've said, you know, I bought that thing a while back when it was on sale, and I never quite understood it, so I've never used it. And now I'm going to tear into it. That's really gratifying that you're helping somebody use the tools they own. And so that's for me in the last year.
Nice. For me, I've two things in the same vein fit the bill. I've been, over the last couple of years, have been adding more and more IoT, Internet of Things, Wi-Fi, internet connected, smart home devices to our house.
Wait, hold on. Internet of Things. So the things
are connected to the internet.
Right. For one reason or another. So we've seen appliances.
That's right.
Got a friend that has a refrigerator that's connected to the internet. I don't know who it's chatting with.
Yeah. So for those, for some things, they'll let you know when you're running low on certain foods and stuff. It may tell you, the most ubiquitous things are going to be smart lights. You can change the color of your light, the brightness of your light, all from your phone. You can set up certain routines. You can also connect it to Google Home or the one from Amazon, who shall not be named, and so that you can use your voice to control these devices. So I've been adding those. I've gone down the rabbit hole of lights, and so all of the lights in our living room are voice enabled, phone enabled. You can say, Google, turn on the lights, and it will, or lights 10%, lights blue, all of those things take control. So the two additions to our smart home that have been the most impactful, one is earlier in the year, we were getting ready to take a long vacation, and at the time, the lock on our door was not working. The keys weren't being accepted by the lock on our door, and so there was no way to lock our front door of our home. And we were planning to go out of town for about 2 weeks, and we had some friends that needed to come over. And one of my friends had this smart garage door opener, and it's a $25 device that you connect. You can install it on the ceiling of the garage, and it connects to your Wi-Fi. And from that, it mimics the signal of you pressing the open the garage door button. And but not only that, it has a sensor that you hang on the garage door, and so it will let you know when your garage door opens, how long it has been opened, when it closes. And you can share access with anybody. And so when you're going out of town, you can share access with a dog walker or a friend, somebody, if you're not home and someone needs to get into your home and all of the doors are locked, you can open it remotely and know or give them access. So they can go to your house, open the garage door, you'll get a notification that, hey, they've opened the garage door. When they leave, they close it, you get that notification. That is great because we didn't have garage door openers for the house. So we couldn't open the garage door except through the inside, which means when we're closing up, we couldn't lock the doors because the door wasn't working, and we couldn't use the garage door from the car. And so now we can. which is great. And so that has been,
That's $100
it
or
was
less.
$25. But, and I don't know that they're still doing this, but at the time, Amazon has partnered with this company, and Amazon, it integrates with their Amazon Key program, which you grant Amazon access to that smart device, and they will leave your packages inside your garage. And so if you're not home or there's something expensive, especially this time of year, it's nice. It is also a little creepy to know that someone has been into your garage. There are times where if you're at home, you don't notice that the garage door has opened and closed, but you get the Amazon alert that your package has been delivered. You go outside and boom, there's your package.
Wow.
But as part of that promotion, Amazon, they want you to use this service. They're going to give you a $30 credit on your next purchase. So I earned $5 to buy this smart device to install it in my home. The next purchase I bought, I got $30 off. So it's negative money. The other smart device, which is the real game changer for me, I have small children, you might know this about me, 3 of them, and they are always losing the remote control. So often that I bought 2 of them. Guess what happened? Don't touch daddy's remote. You can touch the other one. Don't touch it. Doesn't matter. Always. After countless evenings of frustration, looking under every couch, moving all of the cushions, just so frustrated about, you were using the TV today. You used it. Where did this go? For about $20, there's a device that is USB powered that you can plug into any wall outlet, and it sends an infrared signal to any infrared device that you have. And so again, it's connected to the internet. So as long as it has power and it is line of sight to your TV, you can use the app on your phone as a remote for your TV. And so I don't ever look for the remote anymore. I always use my phone. All of the commands, inputs, changing volume, power on and off, all of that stuff I can do from my phone. I have no idea where the remotes are.
Wow.
It is game changing.
All right, so we have Roku, and the Roku allows you to use your phone as a remote too. And I found out, kind of accidentally, that one day we lost the remote, so I'm using the phone as a remote, and I see on there that I can actually have the sound streamed to my earbuds.
Oh,
Yes, I want to do that. So now I don't have to have my phone on. I set my phone off to the side, and the sound is coming through my earbuds, streaming on the
That's
TV.
awesome.
It's fantastic.
yeah.
I think I was watching Squid Game at the time.
Nice. Oh, that's a
perfect,
good use.
perfect timing for that.
Yeah, we have a dumb TV. It's not, our TV is
Yeah,
like
ours too.
17 or 18 years old at this point. And so it doesn't have Roku.
We have a Roku stick.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
I see.
we have
Yeah,
a
we
dumb
don't even
TV
do that.
too.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, hey, here's the deal. I'm going to link to these things, Amazon affiliate links. So if you do click on those and buy something, thank you very much. It's actually a great way of supporting the channel. Doesn't cost you any more. And Amazon's ready to pay that little finder's fee to somebody.
That's
So
right.
thank you very much. If any of that's curious to you, that's really interesting, though. It's spooky,
Yeah.
but kind of cool. Do you have Wise cameras as well?
I do. Yeah, I've got several of those.
I do too.
I have several of those. I have several smart outlets. So I've got those on lamps that don't have smart bulbs. One thing I would say on that note is not Philips Hue is the #1 name in smart bulbs. Their smart bulbs are very expensive and they require a hub located in your house. Walmart sells for about $10 smart bulbs with multicolored LED brightness control that connect directly to your Wi-Fi. Every single device I have is one that connects directly to the Wi-Fi, doesn't require any third-party hub, and so that saves costs and saves ease of installation. It does mean that I'm not locked, because I haven't locked into one system, I have a number of different apps that I have to manage, but most of those do connect to Alexa and to Google, and so they can all be controlled by voice once that's set up. I've got the same thing. I've got plugs I have on several devices. I have a plug on my 3D printer and a Wise Cam on my 3D printer. So if I'm remote, I can check the Wise Cam to make sure the printer is working right. And if, let's say it's a 40-hour print, I'm halfway through and something goes terribly, I don't want it to waste filament and keep printing into space, or keep ruining it, so I can kill the power to my printer that way.
The Wise camera, it's about that big square, like $25 now. $25, and you plug it in, and you the very first thing you do is you pull up a little QR code on your phone. You show the camera the QR code, and then it does everything else. It connects then to your Wi-Fi, and you can then watch through your camera on your phone. It'll save things on the cloud. You can download those videos. My dad, who's 86 years old, has Wise cams at his house that he bought and installed himself. He's got one looking out a window. He's got one down in the basement. Crazy, but they're not at all complicated.
No, same with Ring. We got a Ring doorbell camera. Same thing. There have been some thefts in our neighborhood, and so we got that real easy to install, and again gives you notifications, alerts, however frequently you want.
I mean, some of it feels a little spooky, a little invasive, but you know, if you think it through and you do things safely, right? Like having your Wi-Fi secured, not just, you know, using password 121212 or 11111 or 00000.
Yeah, 22222.
My Wi-Fi network at our apartment is set up as something like seriously nothing unsafe here, something like that.
Yeah. Nice.
All right, hey, this is all interesting. Thanks for sharing, Boy, and thank you for visiting with us. And be sure to join us here tomorrow for Tobacco Advent Day 16. What'd you think of that tobacco?
I enjoyed it. I smoked it very quickly, though.
I could have spoken too.
Yeah.
So that was the Cupcake, aged now 2 years.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that, Brian. That's a good choice. Thanks. All right, make it a great day.
See ya.